Hi all. In this video I am going to show you how to build your own NAS network attached storage for your home from your unused desktop PC. First I will tell you some introduction what is network attached storage system. So network attached storage system is a common storage which you can access from different gadgets which it is connected to your home network. All of you now know that we are having multiple gadgets in our home, like there will be multiple laptops, several smartphones, and there will be tablet PCs. Also there will be a smart TV. So all this can connect to a network attached storage system and access the media files from a common repository. So there will be occasions like we have to access a media file like video or audio from a common place from different gadgets. So this can be done by using cloud storage or WhatsApp, all this. But there are limitations like the size of the file or total storage, and all those software needed internet access to access the media files. But with this network attached storage, the content it is keeping in your home itself, so it is secure and it can easily access without using the internet. So for doing this project, I am using an old desktop PC. So I am connecting that desktop PC to the Wi-Fi router by using a LAN cable. And all other gadgets, it is accessing the storage. That means the shared file which we kept it in the NAS by using Wi-Fi network. So then we don't have to connect any external hard disk to the gadgets or any network cable. So it is free easily to access the network attached storage system. So this will be a very cost effective way of doing this network attached storage system because we will be getting a ready-made NAS from online shops or electronic shops, but that is the proprietary one, and we will not be able to do any customization. But with this our own NAS system, it is very flexible, so it is very easy to customize. Also the power consumption, we don't have to keep always this on. So we are going to use automatic shutdown and Wake-On-LAN option. So I will explain you how to configure all this. So then once we complete the usage, it will automatically shut down. We need open source NAS software. So there are many softwares available. So one is free NAS. Now it is called as true NAS. But this needed a little higher memory. So minimum they are recommending 4 GB, and if it is 8 GB, it will be performing good. But this is having a good features, ZFS file system support on. So if your desktop is having enough memory, then you can choose free NAS as the software. Otherwise, next one is Sigma NAS. This needed less memory only, and this is also a good one. So I am going to use OpenMediaVault. So minimum requirement of this software, it is 1 GB memory and a 64-bit CPU. I'll share the download link for this software in the description. So once you complete the download, it is around 700 MB of ISO file. You have to make a bootable USB pen drive. So for making this, you can use a small software, Rufus, or any other type of burning software. So we can just select the ISO image which you have downloaded from OpenMediaVault, select that file, then plug the pen drive. So minimum 1 GB pen drive it is needed. So before doing this, keep all your data from the pen drive somewhere safe, because it will format the pen drive. So once select the file and select the pen drive, then give the start option. So it will build the USB as a bootable USB from the downloaded ISO image file. Then we have to plug this USB pen drive to the desktop and we can start installation. So this is the desktop I am going to use. I am having a quad-core CPU desktop, and this monitor, keyboard, mouse, all these accessories needed only for the initial setting. So once the setup is ready, then we can keep this CPU box alone in the loft area or near the router, and we can connect a LAN cable to it, and we don't need any physical access later to this desktop CPU, because we can switch it on remotely by using Wake-On-LAN option, and it will automatically go to the sleep mode or shutdown mode whenever it is not using. So now we are ready with the USB, and we have the desktop also ready, connected with the monitor and keyboard. Now we can plug the USB drive to the USB port. So here I am plugged in the back side, so it is preferred to plug the USB ports from the back side. Sometimes the front ports will not be working. Then switch on, then choose the boot option, select the boot option and select the USB drive as the boot device. So it is depending on the motherboard, it will vary the type. So here I am using F12 key to choose the menu. So now I am selected the USB HDD as the bootable drive. So it will boot from the USB, and we will start the installation of OpenMediaVault to the local disk. So this is the first screen. Here there are three options, so we have to choose the first option, that is install option. So we started the installation and select the language. Next select the region. Then select the key map. So now it will start the installation. So some prerequisites, it will check all this, and this stage we can connect the network cable. So here host name we can give any useful meaningful name. So just give your house name or your name. And the domain can be local, that is default, because we are connecting to the local network only. And here we have to enter the root password. So please remember and note down this root password, because later this is needed for connecting to the SSH terminal of our NAS for any maintenance or configuration, and re-enter the password. So here it is listing the hard disk, available hard disk. So you can see that which is our internal hard disk, which with the size we will be able to identify which is the hard disk. So here I am connected 250 GB internal hard disk, and the bottom one is my USB drive, which it is connected for booting. So select the first one, and it will list the suggested partition. So if you are okay with that suggested partition, give yes. So please remember that we have to take any data if it is needed from this hard disk before this step, because this is going to format and repartition it and format it. So once this is done, then we will not be having any old data. So the formatting, partitioning, everything it is doing. Now we have to choose the repository. So I am choosing our India itself as the repository location. That is the default location it is displayed, and here this is the repository URL, and I am not using any proxy, so I just keeping it as blank as it is default. Just give enter, then it will proceed further. Installation is in progress. It will not take much time to do this installation. So maybe within 5 minutes we will be able to complete the installation. Yeah, so it is completed the installation, and it is asking to remove the bootable media and boot from the internal hard disk. So I am removing the USB hard disk and then giving enter. So now it is rebooted, and it is going to start from the internal hard disk which we are just now installed. Yeah, it is booting up. So if we are connecting SSD hard disk, then the booting time also will be fast. But for higher storage, we may have to pay more amount. And here note down the IP. See, it is listing the IP whatever it is configured now. So this IP we can enter it in the browser in a laptop which it is connected to the same network. So then we can configure the NAS through the GUI. So further configurations, installing plugin, all this can be done from the GUI. So open the browser and enter that IP whatever we are noted down from the console. Then you will get a login page. So login username is admin, and the default password for admin user is OpenMediaVault. So you can see OpenMediaVault in the GUI screen itself. So you can type same thing there in the password field. So later once you log in, you can change the password as per your need. Just click on the submit. Then first screen, it is the dashboard screen. Now it is not configured, so it is keeping it as blank now. Yeah. Now we have to do the initial configurations. First one, actually we have to create a file system, then create a shared folder, then enable the needed services, like that. So by default the OpenMediaVault is not allowing, will not allow you to use the system disk, that is the main disk, as the shared disk. For this we have to install a plugin. So normal case we can have a small disk which it is a system files, and other large disk for keeping the shared files. We can see that by default it will not list the device which it is with the file system for configuring the shared. Now we have to install the plugin. For that, go to the system menu. In the system menu we can see that install plugin option. Come down and you can see the plugin option. Just click on the plugin option, and in that it will list available plugins, and you search for the root FS. Just scroll down, then we can see the root FS plugin, so which will allow you to configure the system disk itself as the shared disk. So here click on the install option and confirm. So then it will automatically download the plugin and it will start installing the plugin. It started installing the plugin. So we can see the progress in a pop-up window. So it is completed the installation. Now we can close this pop-up window, so then it will automatically load that plugin. So once this is loaded, we should be able to see a file system. Yeah, we can see that the file system, which it is from the system disk, the file system, it is ext4 and it is showing it as online. Now we can configure a shared folder by using this file system. So just go to the create option and give a name for the shared folder. So this name will be showing in the gadgets when we are accessing this NAS. And select the file system from the drop down and give the save. Now we can see that the shared folder, it is created, and apply the changes. So whenever we are making any changes, there will be a the orange bar, it is coming in the top. We have to click on that apply option, so then it will get applied. So now we have to enable the services which it is needed for accessing this NAS. So there we have to enable SMB, Samba service. So that will support by all the gadgets, most of the gadgets, including Windows, laptops and Android phones. Most of this it is supporting SMB. So I am going to show you how to configure the SMB. So in the services, enable the SMB, and the remaining all the default configuration is enough, and apply the changes. And we have to add this shared folder for that SMB service. So then whenever we are accessing NAS via SMB, it will show you the shared folder which we have configured in the previous screen. So it is applying the changes. Now SMB service is ready. And one more thing, what the important thing what we have to do actually, network side. Now when it is installing, it is using a DHCP service to get the IP address. So for configuring this accessing the NAS from the gadgets, we need a static IP. So configure a static IP. So go to the network option and the interfaces. Select the interface which we are connecting to the LAN and choose the internet IP address option as static. So change from DHCP to static and enter IP which it is in the same range of your Wi-Fi. So normally Wi-Fi routers, it will be assigning IP from 192.168.1.100 series. And default 192.168.1.1 will be the router IP. So you can get this information from your Wi-Fi router and according to your Wi-Fi router configuration, enter the IP here. Normally Wi-Fi routers start assigning DHCP IP from .100. So .2 to .99 will be free. So that you can configure any one of that configure as a static IP. So I am configuring here .10 as the static IP, and net mask will be 255.255.255.0, and gateway we can configure same 192.168.1.1 router IP, and DN also 192.168.1.1. So all these IP details you can get it from your router. And another important checkbox is Wake-On-LAN. So in the bottom you can see a checkbox. You have to enable this checkbox. Then only we can wake this our NAS by using Wake-On-LAN applications from the gadgets. So once that checkbox is enabled, then click on the save button. So then this configuration will be applied. So from this point of time, we have to access the GUI by using the static IP, whatever we have configured.
It's 7.
And note down this MAC address. See, in the top it is listing the MAC address of our network interface. This MAC address is needed later when we are configuring the Wake-On-LAN application from the in the gadgets. So the gadgets, that application will be using on the MAC address because that IP address will be down when it is in sleeping mode. This dashboard, you can configure it. Also, for accessing that SMB shared folder from the gadgets, we have to configure a username and password because by default the SMB, it is configured with an access control. So for accessing the shared folder, we have to enter a username and password. So create a username. So this can be used across all the devices. So I am just entering a username and a password for that user and saving it. So note down this username and password also. So now user is ready for SMB access. And apply the changes. Dashboard you can configure when you are clicking on dashboard. Set up the dashboard option is coming. So here it is having available widgets, it is listing. So just click on the plus symbol. So I am selecting CPU usage, file system status, then service status. So whatever you are interested, you can select those widgets, then apply. So it will show you that in a graphical representation, it will show you those details in the dashboard itself. So then we will get a insight of our NAS system. Now we are ready with the NAS, so we can try to access the shared folder from this laptop itself. Just 2 backward slashes and enter the IP, whatever we are noted down. Whatever IP we have entered as the static IP, just enter that. So it will ask you the username and password. Enter the username and password whatever we have created for the SMB access. So enter username and password, then enter. So it will connect and it will show you the shared folder whatever we have created in the GUI. So here all the file operations are allowed. It is like a copy, paste, delete. So you can keep all the media files or whatever files in this repository and it will be able to access from all the gadgets wherever it is configured. So now I will show you that remaining configurations needed. We have to install some packages in the backend. Also we have to do a automatic shutdown plugin. So that will it will keep monitoring the NAS system. So and whenever there is no activity, it will automatically shut down the system and we can wake it on. See, this is the way we can configure the Wake-On-LAN. So I will give you the link for downloading this Wake-On-LAN application for Windows and Android. Just install it and note down the MAC address, configure that and add as a device. So it will show you the NAS. It is like this. So whenever you need to wake our LAN, our NAS, just double click on that. It will get wake up. Now here we have to connect to the SSH terminal. You can use putty or mobexter for connecting to the NAS SSH terminal. Enter the SSH command, then root @ the IP whatever we have configured. Then it will ask you the username and password. So username and is root only. Password we have already noted down by installing. So that password we can give. So now Wake-On-LAN we can see that now that IP it is in sleeping mode. That means it is not pinging. So see it will get wake up within a few seconds. See now it is I am trying to keep pinging and I am trying to wake up the NAS. So it's woke up now. So we can see that within few seconds it will start pinging. So whenever it is needed, just wake up. See it is started pinging. So within 3-4 seconds it will start pinging. So this is the way automatic sleep mode and the wake up it is working. So now if you try to access, see the shared folder it is accessible. So now we will install that additional packages whatever we needed. SSH root at the right to the IP, static IP whatever we have configured. Then enter. It will ask the password. Enter the password which we have given during the installation. It is logged into the terminal. So this package list I'll share it in the description. So these are the some additional packages we have to install. So it will automatically download and install those packages by using apt-get command. It is downloading and installing the packages. Some 3-4 packages. Mainly these packages are needed for that automatic shutdown module. It is for monitoring the activity of our NAS. You may have to spend some time to make that auto shutdown configuration proper. So depending on your settings and your needs, we can customize the automatic shutdown. So when it has to shut down. I will show you the configuration of auto shutdown and the basic changes whatever it is needed. So remaining changes you can do with an trial and error method. So once these packages are installed, then we have to install the auto shutdown plugin. So this is the command we have to execute for that. This also I will provide it in the description. So then you can copy paste this. So it is connected to the GitHub and downloaded the package and installed the package. The configuration file for auto shutdown, it is available in /etc and autoshutdown.conf. You can use any editor, text editor. I am using VI and editing this file. So you can see the configuration. Most of the configuration it is self-explanatory. So I am making some changes. You can note down these changes. This sockets monitoring I am disabling. So because sometime I noticed that this is giving problem like our SMB socket 445, it will be, or most of the time it will be busy. That means whenever we access from laptop, even disconnecting that session, that socket it is not getting free. So if we start monitoring that socket, it may not be going into sleep mode. So disable that. And then if any changes we are making in the configuration, we have to do this command sysctl restart auto shutdown. So it will load the new configuration. and we can see the status of this monitoring. Just sysctl status auto shutdown, so then it will list the current status. So by default, when it is starting, it will wait for 5 minutes to monitor. It will start monitoring the different state as per the configuration. It is having a ping, it will do ping test, and it will check load average of the system, and the IOPS, the hard disk writing, then socket, like that. Many things it will consider before keeping the system to the sleep mode. So if we are configuring it is proper, then it will work perfectly fine. So whenever there is no activity, it will automatically go to the sleep mode. So once network everything is ready with Wake-On-LAN, if you do ETH tool and that interface name, you can see that Wake-On status should be G global. Otherwise, most of the time it will be D if it is not properly configured. So once we configured, we can try a reboot. So then all the configuration will be properly loaded, and we can verify this Wake-On-LAN also. I am disabling this socket monitoring, and I am disabling SMB status, SMB client status check also, because that also sometime what will happen, it will give problem. And by default, this auto shutdown module, the plugin, it is configured to shut down the system once there is no activity. So instead of shut down the system, I am going to use a suspend option. That means it will be in sleep mode. It will not be shut down. Because when we are waking up, it will be fast. Within few seconds it will come back. Otherwise, if it is shutting down, then it will go through all the boot up sequence, so it may take some time to come back. So if you are having a UPS inverter and all, it is better to configure suspend, sysstat suspend as the shutdown command. So whenever there is an inactivity, it will not shut down, it will go to the suspended mode, sleep mode. So it will flush all the write cache from memory to the disk. So even though if there is a power failure during sleeping mode, there will not be an issue. So here I am showing you how to configure this Wake-On-LAN and the file manager in an Android system. So we need two applications for doing this. First one is actually Wake-On-LAN. There are many applications available for this purpose. I am using this WOL as one of this application to configure it. So I will share the link for it. You can choose any application and install this, and just open this application. So then I will show you how to add it. Next one, file manager. So there are many file explorer available in Google Play Store, which it is supporting SMB plugin, SMB service. So I am using this CX file manager. I felt this is a good one, and install this. By using this file manager, it will not download the file to the local storage for accessing or playing anything. So this is the way we can configure the Wake-On-LAN. So here use the add option and add the device with the MAC address whatever we have noted down from the network configuration of OpenMediaVault. So it will show you the device like this. So you can see a red dot in that circle. That means currently it is down. So if you just click on wake, it will wake up and it will become green. Now you can open the CX file manager. In this you can go to the last option, which it is network. In that add option, you can choose the add option. So from this you choose the remote option and select the SMB protocol. And in that SMB protocol, it will ask you to enter the IP address So enter the static IP address whatever we have configured for our NAS and the username password. So after that you can see it is created a shortcut. So if you just click on that shortcut, it will connect to the NAS and it will list all the shared folder whatever we have created. And it is supporting all the file related operations, copy, paste, delete, create a new, whatever it is. And we can play a video directly from there. I am just trying to open a video file from the shared folder. It will directly open from there. So it will not download to the local storage. So there will not be any extra space needed for playing these files. This is the way we can build our own NAS system. Thank you for watching. Hope this is helpful for you. If you have any comments or if you need any further help, please comment on it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I forgot one thing. Today I am going to show shutdown configuration.